Welcome to Rome, home of the Vatican and the Colosseum. I was blown away by Palatine Hill and the Roman Forum. It's crazy to think that over 2,000 years ago stood these beautiful sculptures and monuments carved into the walls of ancient buildings that still stand there today. While walking the cobbled streets, you get taken back to the Roman times. Since Rome is so big, I personally recommend staying at a hotel over a hostel, especially if you were traveling alone like I was. It cost a little more, but it did feel a lot more safe. I just made it to Athena Hotel in Rome, and as you can see, it's really small. There's a sink there, the little bathroom to the side. It's more like a dorm room, but it was still $80 a night. So Rome's definitely expensive, and also flying at night from Athens I did. So if you are going to a different place flying, try to get an earlier flight. I did a night flight, and it's just grueling. And book a shuttle. I recommend booking a shuttle because it's a lot cheaper. You can get a shuttle for 40 flat rate because the airport's really far from right into Rome, and about 45 minutes, and it cost me €70. So I'm kind of set back and disappointed about that. So just prepare yourself for Rome being expensive. To cut costs, I decided to take the hop on, hop off tour bus. This cost me €30 for 2 days of travel. Now, this took me to all the hot spots in Rome, giving me easy transportation to museums, churches, and of course, seeking out the best restaurants and meeting other travelers.
We can't wait the next couple of days here in Rome. Everything is what we imagined and more. Folks, if you're planning to come to Italy, I have nothing against Canada, the greatest country in the world, but take some time. You know what they say, take the time. It says, go for the trip, your money will return, your time won't.
The food in Italy is, I have to say, was one of our attractions in coming to Italy. The food, the wine. So far, we have not been disappointed. We hiked through Cicatere. We went to a little village called, one of the 5 villages called Caniglia, and we had the most amazing bruschetta. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the place, but it was 3 different types, the best ever.
Looking forward to the Colosseum, Vatican City, and St. Peter's Basilica. We're going to take it all in over the next 3 days, and we'll hopefully have some nice pictures to send to somebody that wants them.
When I visited the Colosseum and Palatine Hill, I chose to take a tour guide. This cost me €30, and it included the option to skip the lines and have the guided tour. The lines and wait times for the Colosseum can take a huge chunk out of your day. Wait times can vary from 1 to 4 hours, so I highly recommend going with the tour guide so you can skip the lines and see everything the Colosseum and Palatine Hill has to offer. Once you're inside the Colosseum, you're really taken back to when the gladiatorial games were held, and you get to experience these amazing views of the cages where the prisoners and animals were held. During the tour, you really get the in-depth history behind how the games were orchestrated and get to see where the gladiators would run through the maze and outsmart the lions. It was a barbaric practice, but would provide entertainment for Romans of all classes. Royalty, of course, had the front row seats. A few things to keep in mind while in the Colosseum walls is it is very crowded, and security does not allow tripods or anything which could be considered a weapon inside the historic monument. A lot of people miss out on going to the Roman Forum and Palatine Hill, but I definitely recommend taking the time to go right in and view the ruins of the old palace and learn how they were run. Romans had air conditioning and running water. In those days, that was unheard of. It really paints a picture of how advanced the Romans were in their era. I didn't get to go to the Vatican, but just a tip, I'm heading over to Florence now, and there's so many churches in Florence without the huge lineups, and they still have Michelangelo's beautiful paintings. So if you did miss the Vatican, whether it was closed, because it is closed on certain days, so you have to check that ahead of traveling to Rome as well, you can go over to Florence and see the same type of beauty. The Vatican is breathtaking from the outside as well. You're able to get fairly close and take pictures, and you still get to view the preserved sculptures. Wait times for the lines to get into the Vatican can be as long as 4 hours, or sometimes even longer depending on the season. I decided not to go in because it would have cost €50. If you're taking a train place to place while backpacking Europe, I'm heading from Rome to Florence. They don't put the schedule or what train is which until about 20 minutes before. I gave myself at least an hour just to look around and figure it out because the tickets don't have any English on them and a lot of people don't speak English around the Terminia. If Florence or Chancteri is on your bucket list to travel, subscribe to my YouTube page to get more tips on travel, where to eat, stay, and play. Happy travels. Thanks for watching.